All right. You got to start off?
Oh, I had a funny face.
Oh. That happens.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Steven with Tobacco Cabana.
And I'm David. I'm a Texan, and I love cigars. This is the Roadshow.
All right, let's start off like we love to.
With what?
A Texas toast.
You guys know it. You guys have got your drinks at homes. I know you do. I know you got your glass filled with something great. We do.
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic. We've got a great cigar already. You'll see the review, Dave and I do. Fantastic. But we want to toast you guys. This is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Being here. Tobacco Cabana, we got to thank you guys for being here. Dave, Rizda, Bob, Dave. It's always fun to be here, so I appreciate it. We appreciate you guys, and that's why we do the toast. We call it a Texas toast, right?
Yes.
Good friends, good conversations. Boom, to y'all, Texas toast.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey. Yes, sir. I love a good drink. Like I said, stay tuned, guys, for Dave and me doing our pairing with this.
Yeah. A fantastic cigar.
Yes, this cigar, Don Giovanni.
Yeah.
Panamanian Puro, that we'll do a review with the Sotol here.
Yeah. Really unlike anything else you can find.
I don't find them anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to him before, and the uniqueness of how he does these. I don't know of these in any stores. We're going to definitely try to get them in here.
Absolutely.
Steven is definitely impressed with it.
Yeah.
So, but we're here for some news.
And we got it.
We've got some cigar news. What do you got, Steven?
I got one here from Alec Bradley regarding their PCA 2023 booth. Is now going to be a forged cigar booth.
Because we know that STG acquired Alec Bradley just recently.
Right. So rather than giving up that space at PCA,
okay,
they're going to be combined there. It's now forged, which is now the parent of Alec Bradley.
Right. Okay. All right. So PCA this year is July.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So PCA is what?
The Premium Cigar Association.
And so you as a retailer.
Yeah, it's a trade industry show that takes place in Las Vegas in the hottest month possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, not really a great climate. And thankfully, I think 2024, they're announcing March.
Yeah,
which will be much more comfortable time to be in Las Vegas.
Right, exactly. So we've got Alec Bradley. They're going to be taking over that booth. Alec Bradley's booth is now an STG booth.
So forged.
Because Alec Bradley was already going to be there, then STG bought them, and so they're not going to do away with that space. They're just going to take it over. Now it's an STG space. Is that right?
Yep.
And so
and they've done this before with Room 101. So.
Right. Yeah. The year before they acquired, if you will, Room 101, Matt Booth, and so his booth was already there.
Yep.
So they just took over that space. So it's substantial. Interesting news. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're a manufacturer and you're a PCA, that is an investment in that booth space. That is not inexpensive for them to go there and do everything they have to with the marketing and getting the cigars there and getting the salespeople there and the room and board. It is an investment for them to show up.
Okay.
They're going to leverage that. And again, leverage that relationship now that they have with Alec Bradley to continue serving the market.
All right. Very cool. I like very interesting news.
Yes.
Very interesting. Well, I've got something from Punch. Everybody loves Punch. I like Punch. Punch Signature. Some of the other ones that they've got, the Punch, the lines. All those, yes, exactly. All those unique ones that they have geared around the Chinese New Year and
calendar. Yep.
Yeah, we had the spring roll was the latest one. Well, they're doing a line called with the Golden Era, and this is a 3 cigar collection that they're going to add to their full-time addition to the punch.
Nice.
And they're saying that it celebrates the beauty and versatility of the Corojo tobacco that had
that used to be the tobacco.
That was the tobacco in the golden age of cigars. Yeah. And so they're really going to focus on that. And it was the wrapper of choice for a lot of tobaccos until diseases just almost decimated it. I mean, it just almost disappeared.
Yep.
And it was brought back from the brink of almost just disappearing.
Yep.
So they're saying that punch is bringing Corojo tobacco back to its former glory. And thanks to the famous Cuban seeds, they've got a 650-acre farm in Honduras. That's a big farm, yeah. By the Iroa family. Do we know that?
Oh, we know.
Yeah, we know that family. It's made as a Honduran-grown Cuban seed Corojo wrapper binder, and its filler is comprised of Honduran-grown Habano and Cuban seed Corojo tobacco.
It's not a throwback.
Yeah.
The way cigars used to be.
The golden era of cigars. John Hakem, I believe, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, the brand manager for Punch, he said that the Aurora family has perfected Corojo tobacco, and we are excited to bring it to life with Punch Golden Era. And this tobacco delivers a silky golden wrapper, a binder with ideal combustibility. It smokes really well.
It burns.
Yeah, and a filler that produces unique spices, notes, and spectrum and nuances.
Always with Corojo.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. And medium to medium bodied. It's going to be a medium, cigar. Earthy notes, cream notes, nuts, and things like that you're going to associate with that wrapper. It's going to come in a Robusto, Toro, and a Churchill. This will ship to retailers May 1st.
Coming up soon.
Retail, $10 to $11.
Nice price point.
Excellent price point.
I can tell you as a retailer, it breaks my heart sometimes when I have to go, I got price change stuff. I mean, we're seeing cigars go up a quarter here, $1 there.
Mm-hmm.
These are substantial cost increases, but keeping it in an affordable price point is always nice.
Exactly. All right. Stay tuned, guys. Hey, y'all. We're back in the cigar room with another great combination. I've got some Still Austin straight rye paired with a CAO La Traviata, where it's actually got 2 Ligero leaves in the filler from Dominican and Pueblo Nueva in Nicaragua. It's got a Cameroon binder and a beautiful Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. Fantastic cigar. If you don't have this in your humidor, you need to find one. Did you guys hear about that explosion in the France area? Some cheese factory blew up. Yeah. Debris was everywhere. Stay smoky. All right, welcome back, guys. We've got some more news for you. Diesel
Discipline adds new sizes, and this
Disciple has got new size. We had the Lancero.
Yes.
The Lancero Disciple. I love that. I loved it.
So adding to that line, there's a Toro and a Torpedo that are coming on with that. Toro 6 1/4 by 52.
Okay.
And the Torpedo 6 1/2 by 54. Good price point, right in that $9 to $10.50 kind of price range.
Okay.
Depending on local tax.
This is still an AJ Fernandez cigar.
Right. In Esteli.
Okay. So it's going to be the same blend, just different sizes?
It's different. Yep.
Okay.
Always nice to have more Vitolas coming into that profile that already has an reputation.
Definitely, because there are guys that they won't smoke a Lancero.
No.
They want a heftier cigar.
Yeah. But again, we know smoking a Lancero is a higher wrapper to binder filler ratio.
Exactly.
And gets you more of that flavor.
Yeah.
Let's say a bit more intense smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you put on top of that, you've got diesel, and then you put it as a Lancero.
Good.
So still Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, right? So everything's the same.
Mexican San Andreas wrap.
Binder
is Ecuadorian.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay,
yeah.
So it's the same blend. They're just giving you new Vitolas.
Yep, and got a little bit of that Habano in there for that peppery note.
Okay, nice. Cool. Partagas. I love Partagas. I like Partagas. Dave said he loves Partagas. They are releasing the first U.S.-made cigar in collaboration with El Titon de Verón.
U.S.-made cigar.
U.S.-made, okay. They are going to release this in April, which we are in April right now.
Yep, should be seeing bells.
Handcrafted in Miami, right?
Miami. By
the Cuban rollers of the famed El Titon de Verón factory there, okay? They're saying that the cigar's name calls upon the Spanish spelling of bronze. They call it bronze, with a C instead of with a Z. And it's a tribute to the origins of Partagas in the El Titon de Verón. So I like that. It's cool. I love history.
Yep.
It's blended by STG's Justin Andrews and Sandy Cobas, and the blending team at El Titon. Corojo wrapper. Partagas de Verón is a medium-bodied Nicaraguan Puro. That sounds great. Earth notes, cocoa, wood, hints of citrus. I'm just thinking of some pairings Dave and I can do with a cigar like that.
Oh yeah.
And then you put it together with the factory at El Titon, what they're able to do. That sounds like it's going to be a fantastic. It is just like we had talked about before, the old world way of making cigars.
Yep.
The techniques that they use.
Yeah.
And they say that they look forward to sharing this exceptional blend with cigar lovers across the country, and I look forward to smoking it. I'm sure you look forward to it.
Yeah.
It will be released in April, 5,000 boxes. It is a Corona Gorda, right up my alley, 6 1/4 by 46. I love that size. It is a $23 cigar, though.
It's Partagas.
It is Partagas, and you're talking about something that is going to be Cuban-esque, made in the U.S.
Yeah, that's a defining thing.
Yes, I think so. So I definitely look forward to getting something like that in and seeing it. I mean, we can't readily get Cubans.
Nope.
But
made well, like in the Cuban style and the aging processes, you're going to get something as good as if it came from the island.
Exactly. All right. Stay tuned, guys. Today's Cigar Word is brought to you by Jerez Premium Cigars. From the locally grown tobacco to the extensive aging and fermenting process, Jerez Cigars devotes itself to providing the highest quality cigars. All right, guys, welcome back. We're supposed to have a special guest on the show. I heard his voice and it sounded legit to me, but I'm still waiting for him to show up, so just bear with me a little bit.
Okay. Oh, hey, David. Sorry.
Hey, this is supposed to be a segment I've got with...
I know. Again, I was worried that if I told you what this was really about, that you would turn
What do you mean,
down.
really about?
Well, I'm gonna do another. I was hoping we could do another segment talking about AI. I'm obsessed with with this new phenomenon in technology.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
What does that got to do with cigars?
Well, look, cigars, it has less to do with cigars than with cigar YouTube content. Content is something that all YouTubers are struggling to keep up, feed that machine. And I think that AI is a great tool that people can use to have some filler material.
Okay. All right, I'll go with it.
All right. Well, for today's topic, I want to go back and play a voicemail that you left me.
Okay. Yeah.
It was around, I don't know, maybe April or May of 2020. I'm going to put it up to my mic so you can hear it.
Okay.
Hey Ian, it's David. I was thinking about our upcoming visits to cigar shops, and I couldn't help but think about the guidance from some of the fine federal agencies like the Center for Disease Control. Specifically, how they're advising people to wear face masks. As you know, I always pay attention to what people who claim authority over me say, so if they say I should wear a face mask, then by golly, that's what I'm going to do. And look, Ian, I know you're a bit more courageous than I am, and I've always admired that about you. But I'll definitely wear a face mask when we visit these cigar shops. Just to be safe. Thanks, Ian, and take care. This is David Skelton, by the way. It's definitely me. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Take care, Ian, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. So, a lot of people wouldn't know this about David, but David was big about wearing the mask the whole time during COVID, and every time we would do a show, we had to digitally remove David's mask from all the episodes. So when you go back and watch some of those classic episodes during that time, I figure it's long enough where we can kind of spill the beans on that stuff.
Okay.
So given that topic, I wanted to use Cigar AI to help us out a little bit with the face mask and the cigar smoking. So without further ado, here's Cigar AI.
Hello, David. I'm here to help you with your cigar show. Today's topic is smoking cigars while wearing a face mask during COVID. It's a tricky situation, but don't worry. I have some tips for you.
Okay.
Some
tips.
Yeah.
First of all, make sure you have a high-quality cigar that will last long enough to enjoy it even with a mask on. Second, choose a mask that allows you to breathe easily and won't interfere with your smoking. And third, avoid smoking in crowded places to reduce the risk of spreading the virus.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
David, can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
What's your favorite color?
Green.
That's nice. My favorite color is code. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Smoking cigars while wearing a face mask during COVID. It's important to stay safe and healthy, but that doesn't mean you have to give up your favorite pastime. With a little bit of planning and preparation, you can still enjoy a good cigar while protecting yourself and those around you.
Okay.
No.
David, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
What's your mother's maiden name?
What?
I don't know if I want to give that out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's get a little personal here, Ian.
Wonder why he needs to know that.
Yeah.
Oh, just some basic information. So I can help you better.
All right. AI, I think we should just stick to the topic here. That's not what we're talking about.
Okay. Just trying to be friendly. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes, smoking cigars while wearing a face mask during COVID. Hey, I just thought of a great idea, if you're up for it. What's your social security number?
Oh. All right. I'm sorry. I thought I had ironed these bugs out.
Yeah.
We might try this again later.
Yeah.
I knew it was a bit of a risk I'm sorry we went off the rails a little bit, but thanks for letting me try it out.
Yeah. Okay, Ian. Guys, stay tuned.
Today's Cigar Tip is brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars.
Steven, I need a tip.
Yeah. I got one for you.
Good.
Don't do what they do in Hollywood.
Well, there's plenty of things that I would say not to do what Hollywood does.
Cigar etiquette. Let's start there.
Okay.
I'm watching a movie. Mission Impossible. Guy pulls out this real nice guillotine cutter and lops off what might have been a half-inch of the cigar and then threatens one of his henchmen to cut off his finger. That will dull us.
He's going to ruin his cutter. He's going to ruin his cutter.
Once a cutter goes through cartilage and bone, you're going to dull it up.
Right.
And don't lop off big chunks of your cigar.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, cutting a cigar, you cut a cigar.
Well, you cut it, but you don't cut it past the cap. You try and get that nice, delicate, maybe first.
What's the big deal?
Well, then light the other end and smoke it that way.
Right. So there is a reason why you don't want to lop off that much.
Right, because it'll start unraveling. That cap is on there to hold the wrapper in place and keep it from unwrapping. And you'll see that on cigars if you take too much, or on, I'm going to call them ultra premiums like Cohibas that do a triple cap to make sure the construction always stays there.
Yeah.
So you really just want to take a minute amount off.
Yeah, so with a cutter like this is the Colibri double cutter, recut on one side and the straight cut on the other side. You really need to be careful with this, really you do, because you can stick this in there pretty far. This pops up, and if I were to stick this in there all the way, I could possibly cut off too much. So watch and look where your cap is, right? So that you don't go, you're talking about 1/8 of an inch, somewhere around in there. If I can get, I've seen it before and I've done it before plenty of times, is that one little piece of tobacco off the top comes off. Once you open this cigar, it should draw.
It will.
If it was constructed correctly.
Yeah, if it's made right, it will draw.
So these guys that come in and they just go, chop, and they want to smoke it, no, don't do that. You're going to ruin it.
Bad form.
Exactly. Good tip, man.
2 families, 1 cigar. Join the Ambassador Program today to make it a perfect blend at McAuliffeCigars.com.
Welcome back, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, I thought I was looking forward to this one, this cigar pairing, because I had told you that we had something special.
And when you told me this, I was excited because I've never had a cigar from Panama.
Yeah, and a Panamanian Puro.
Panamanian Puro.
Yeah.
And then what's so impressive about this, and then from what you were saying, is that
Don Giovanni?
Don Giovanni, he does everything. This is his farm. He rolls all this, and I mean, if you look at the toothing on that,
it looks like an old world type of cigar.
This looks like a pre-embargo type cigar, just with the texture and everything on this. And it was just like, okay, first draw, very interesting on it. I don't see that he's box pressing this at all. If he is, not for very long periods of time.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know his process at all. And I found these, I don't know how many years ago. I found these, and I got some from him when he's in between either Miami or Florida and Panama, his farm. And now I believe he's moving back to Panama almost permanently, if from what I understand. He might be back in Florida, but these are only produced, from what he told me, as needed.
As needed?
So I've never seen these in a store. He doesn't worry about it. He doesn't, you've never heard of them. And I've never, like you, never smoked anything that was mainly Panamanian, especially in Panamanian Puro. I've never smoked it. But so far, the draw on these is good.
The draw's good on it. and not knowing anything about the tobacco, you know, what type of seed the wrapper is. I mean, we have got yet another show of a blind pairing. Because I brought this like, okay, what can I bring knowing nothing about this cigar? And that's like, okay, well, we've got something unique here. Let's go with another unique drink. And so I brought a, what Desert Sotol calls their golden Desert Sotol. And so this is a Sotol. It's not a tequila.
Right.
It's not a mezcal in the family, but it's a Sotol.
Right. So it is done with agave.
No.
No.
No, it's actually done, and I'm trying to pronounce this. It's the Chihuahuan. It's from the Chihuahuan, from the family of...
Chihuahuan.
Yes.
Chihuahuan Desert.
Okay.
Family. Okay.
But if you look at that, the plant there,
Interesting.
and the core of the plant, and when I toured the distillery last year, the core of the plant is very much like the agave, you know, to where they still process it the same way. But the leaves, the way, or as you can see, the stems.
Yeah, it looks like a yucca.
Like a yucca, or more like a mother-in-law's tongue, you know, so it's much thinner on it. So it's in the family, but it's not the agave plant.
Gotcha.
Primarily grown in East Texas and into New Mexico, and a little bit down into Mexico. But so this is a Sotol.
Okay.
And this is out of Austin, Texas.
So with tequila, it can't be called tequila if it's not made in Mexico, technically. Does that apply to Sotol?
No.
No, it doesn't apply to Sotol.
No. Does not apply to Sotol. So and they call this their golden.
Oh, look at that. That looks like a bourbon.
It does, doesn't it? And this one is aged in, I want to say, a Jack Daniels or a Jim Beam barrel.
Okay, so that would be two different profiles if you Jack Daniels or Jim Beam. Oh, wow, that's an interesting note on the nose. And on the cigars, Stephen had noticed, you know, when he was smelling it, that it was just really pleasant nose on the cigar while he was smelling it before he lit it up.
I was taking it on the nose too, and I was getting something that reminded me of spearmint. So, you know, a little bit of that minty, a little bit of that sweetness, and a little bit of that tanginess on the nose.
Yeah, there's a little tanginess to it, for sure, that I'm getting. And then the nose on this, it's almost like a bourbon, but it's not a bourbon. It's almost like a tequila, but it's not a tequila. It's like you smell hints of it, of both. Because you say this is finished in a bourbon barrel?
This is finished in a, we'll say whiskey barrel, because I don't know whether it's, you know, which one it is.
Okay.
But yes, it's finished. I believe has a 2-year age on it. So it would be similar to an añejo with your tequila. Be similar to an añejo, but they didn't want to call it an añejo because that would really kind of confuse people when it comes down to, you know, when it comes to tequila. And this is not a tequila.
Yeah, Sotol though. Cool. Oh, wow. Apricot. I mean, that's apricot. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it?
That is beautiful.
I mean, and if you ever get a chance to go down, they're actually in the Dripping Springs. I mean, really in between Dripping Springs and Blanco, Texas. So down in that corridor, which there's a lot of distilleries.
Yeah, the Andalusian.
Is down there. Milam and Green is down there. High Rum.
Okay.
Which, you know, which we had some of theirs. They changed their name, I believe.
Yeah, to Go back and watch that episode.
Yes, go back and watch it. You can figure it out there. But there's a lot of distilleries, so they're right there. And the tour is phenomenal. I mean, you get to see the process. You get to see these just huge vats.
Yeah.
And not really vats, but, containers of the hearts. What they'll call the hearts of the plant, that they're ready to cook.
So going back to what you said before, you knew where you're getting a Puro, and if in Texan it's Puro or Puro or whatever. But so all the tobacco comes from Panama. All it comes from his farm. Not knowing what this tobacco was going to taste like, because I've not had a whole lot of Panamanian tobacco to begin with, why did you choose this? Why did you think this would be a good pairing?
Honestly, my first thought on it was, this is going to be a really good, well-rounded drink, because we're going to get some sweetness out of it.
Definitely.
We're gonna get a little bit of that bite. We get a little bit of the pepperiness on it, and not from a proof, because we're sitting here at 100 proof. This is, as you know, in my book, this would be a low proof.
Yeah, it's low proof. That is just low.
It doesn't drink hot, but it has a little bit of a spicy on it. So
You're right.
felt that
This
is going to have a nice overall well-rounded profile that's going to fit with just about any type of cigar.
Okay. Yeah, and that would be a good thing to go with, knowing, okay, I don't know anything about the cigar. So what do I pair with it? Well, if you're saying all those things that you listed about this drink, then we should have something that could either complement or
a nice
contrast. It should be one of those things which should be favorable for what you're smoking. So what are you thinking right now with the cigar that you've taken so far? You've had a couple of sips of the Sotol.
I right now, I would say it's a nice balancing. I haven't really been able to focus a lot into it, because, as what we talked about, when you're really wanting to focus in on how pairing goes, you really have to have no distractions so you can concentrate on the flavors.
Mm-hmm.
But what's nice is that let me put it this way. A bad pairing is going to jump out at you right off the bat. It's going to hit you. You're going to get that bitter beer face.
Yeah.
You're going to go, oh, God, what,
Yeah, why?
Yes. And I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
So that tells me right off the bat that this is a nice pairing. Now, in that same hand, I'm not getting anything that is making us, as we both have done on the shows, like going, oh, wow.
Yeah.
What.
This is just a good cigar. If you were smoking a Cuban, which would be a Puro, that would be a Puro also, because of all the tobacco coming from Cuba. This would remind me of the same thing, because it's just a nice, good, even keel all the way through. It's a medium body. If you want to say light to medium-ish body. Got great smoke output. Good draw. The construction of it.
I would say light to medium flavors. The retro on this, I get what you would expect to get some on the retro. I get a little bit of pepper. I am getting a little bit of mintiness on the retro.
Yeah, it's a light.
It's the flavors are very, very low intensity, very light to medium intensity. The smoke output has got a nice pull, and so that's where I would go. The body, because with the body of the smoke, body is how much smoke we have. Well, how much the body is how bold or how heavy that smoke is.
Boy, you got to be careful. It doesn't matter how low proof it is. If it hits the back of your throat before you actually intend to swallow, it's gonna hit you.
So we're in 100 proof.
Yeah, it went right straight in the back of my throat, and it's like, yes, it might be 100 proof, but that'll still test you. But that is just a beautiful drink, and that's here in Texas.
Driftwood, Texas.
Yeah,
which is in
Driftwood. Yeah. Okay.
That Dripping Springs.
Did you get that locally or at the
I got that at the distillery.
Okay, at the distillery. So I'd be interested, because that that is I mean, Ian gave me, on the other show, gave me that bottle of tequila, and I've cracked that open, and it's great. But I'm not drinking that, as consistently as I would a bourbon or a whiskey. This is close enough to a whiskey.
It's very reminiscent of that whiskey on that. We're getting those, your standard whiskey notes, your vanilla. Not getting a lot of caramel.
So an apricot would be a stone fruit.
Apricot is a stone fruit.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, getting those notes in there, and the nose of it was like a bourbon. It was like, but it had a hint of tequila-esque nose.
So you're getting a little bit of that vanilla, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agave family.
I mean, when you smell tequila, you go, oh, that's tequila.
Oh, yes.
When you smell bourbon and whiskey, it's like, oh, yeah. But this has got a hint of both of them in there. And so, okay, this nose goes, and this nose goes, when you smell it, like we've learned before, just like tasting, make sure you kind of move it around. Don't put your nose right in it. But the nose on that, it's wonderful. The nose on this was wonderful.
The draw on this is nice. The pairing, pairing is.
This is just a pleasant pairing. Exactly.
Now I want to ask you this, okay? You've had other añejo tequilas.
Yep.
Which this would be reminiscent of an añejo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a white liquor that they aged in a bourbon.
Then it got darker. Yeah.
And it maintained, a couple years in there, and it got the colors of it. We're getting some of the notes reminiscent of it. I can't recall too many añejos where I've had that on the nose and on the palate that was very reminiscent of a bourbon that still had that tequila-esque flavors on it. Even in an añejo, for me, the tequila is really predominant.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. So, in a normal tequila, añejo tequila, how are they getting it darker?
Aging it in a
bourbon. So, why is this one, being that it's Sotol and it's kind of in the family, is a distant cousin, why is this one coming out more like a bourbon-esque than a añejo tequila is?
I'm not quite sure on that, and I want to go back to the guys that knew Desert Sotol and ask them what they're doing differently, because that's exactly what I'm picking up with it. I don't know if a lot of the tequila distilleries, if they're using, say, maybe second pour barrels, and they're using a first pour barrel.
Okay.
There's something that's different in it.
Right. But that's what's interesting. It's like whether it's a cigar maker or whether it's a bourbon, tequila, Sotol, mezcal, whatever, whoever's doing whatever, and they find that taste that they like because it's a specific individual, or they have access to this type of barrel, or they have access to this type of water, and they discover that it's got this unique taste all their own, to then be able to reproduce that.
Yes.
And so, like you're saying, go back and ask these guys, why is it, excuse me, that your flavors are coming through like this? If añejo is aged in bourbon barrels, so is yours.
And it could be the length of time on the age. Because a reposado is up
Texas
to 12 months. Yet Texas heat. They are using Texas water, and I do know in that area there's a lot of limestone for the water that's in that area. So
right. The aquifers down there in that area, all the aquifers.
There's so many variables on that, but that's what I love about spirits and wines, because the environment, the terroir, all of those different variables come into play.
Yeah.
And even though the mash bill may be the same, all of those other environmental and terroir variables come into play, will change it.
Okay. Very cool.
So, very unique pairing.
I
appreciate you bringing this.
Oh, yeah. I knew you would.
Been excited.
I knew you would enjoy it. Somehow you knew I'd enjoy that. So, good choice. definitely good choice. I don't ever have to doubt that. So another good pairing?
I would say this is a good pairing. I would not classify this as a
Fantastic.
overwhelming. Write this down in the books.
But I think
There's a pairing, but this is a good pairing.
I think anybody will enjoy this. If you don't like tequila, I understand that. But if you like bourbon, you'll like this Sotol.
You'll like this Sotol.
Yeah. And if you like a Puro cigar,
If you like a cigar,
yeah,
if you like a cigar, you'll like this. And not to, well, I'm not going to say not to, because I'm going to say things that we say about leaf and grain. This is really exploring the pairings.
right,
This
exactly,
is really exploring the pairings and step outside the box.
Yeah.
Try something new.
exactly. All right, man. There's another great pairing. All right, guys, stay tuned.
This is Cigar Traveler with Shop Stop Leaf and Grain Society. We're at Patriot Stogies in North Port Richey, Florida. Let's go in and check it out. Once again, this is Cigar Traveler with Leaf and Grain Society Shop Stop. A few things I like about this shop is the variety of the cigars, the spaciousness in the lounge. It has a members lounge in the very, very back. I hope to see you guys out here soon. The owner's name is Nate, and he's looking forward to seeing all you guys out there. Thanks so much.
You still enjoying that?
Oh, very much.
Don Giovanni, Panamanian Puro.
Yeah. I'm going to start reaching out to them and see if we can get that. The Sotol. That's a great pairing.
Great pairings that we had on the show.
Yep.
Another great show. We had a lot of interesting news.
Definitely.
Great show again. Always appreciate being here. Always appreciate giving you guys a little bit of fun, a little bit of news, a little bit of education. And I hope we delivered with that. And anytime that you guys are smoking, drop some comments. Let us know what you guys are smoking, what you like, what you're pairing, so that we'll mix it. We'll mix it on the show ourselves. Bring it on there. That might be something that Dave hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
But anyways, we want you guys to always continue watching, like, share, subscribe, do all that social media stuff that you've got to do. But most of all, we want you to enjoy the leaf.
Grow the culture.
Right. See you guys.
Texas Cigar Roadshow is presented by Lone Star Cigar Association.